if you want to go and have sex, man or woman, God bless you. Go have sex. I'm not here to tell you what to do or judge you.
Wild Til 9. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go home. Not only are we approaching the most wonderful time of the year, but some might also say it's a little bit hectic, stressful, anxiety-provoking, and probably all those combined, especially if you're running an online store. You've got inventory to manage, orders to fill, and a growing list of stressed-out customers checking in twice a day, wondering whether those last-minute gifts will arrive in time. Well, ShipStation is here to help the Tillies.
ShipStation imports all of your sales from different channels so you can access them from one easy-to-use dashboard. I think this is honestly such a huge help because it takes away the time waste that comes with checking each of your sales channels like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and allows you to view everything in one place. Plus, it helps you save money on shipping.
ShipStation works with all major carriers internationally and locally, including FedEx, USPS, and UPS. And you even get access to discounted rates that are usually reserved for Fortune 500 companies. 98% of companies that use ShipStation for a year keep using it as long as they're in business. It's that good.
Make this holiday season a little brighter with ShipStation. Use our offer code WT9 to get a 60-day free trial. Just enough time to handle the holiday rush. Just go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top, and enter code WT9. ShipStation.
Make ship happen.
It's so good. All right, Tillies, we got a sassy sponsor today. Oh my God, I can't believe this is a good one.
Yeah,
this is a good one.
Yeah, it is.
AdamandEve.com has everything you need for sassy time with your partner or with yourself. Seriously, just go browse the products and we are positive, sex positive, if you will, that you will find something to spice up your sex life.
And we've got a pretty great discount for our favorite listeners, which is, well, all of our listeners, of course. But all you have to do is go to adamandeve.com and select any one item, and you'll get 50% off and free shipping.
That's a good-ass deal.
It sure is.
That's a good-ass deal.
Uh-huh.
It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter offer code WILDTIL9 at checkout, and you'll get 50% off almost any item.
Should have been Wild After 9. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity.
Fine.
Wild. Yeah. Maybe next time. Go check out adamandeve.com today. Select one item and get 50% off, including free shipping when you enter offer code WILDTIL9. That's WILDTIL and the number 9. WILDTIL9 at adamandeve.com. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Wild Til 9. We have our best dressed guest that we've ever had, who is here celebrating the 69th episode of Wild Til 9.
Is that so?
That's why I dressed up, right? Is thank you so much for the occasion.
National holiday?
National holiday. Everyone last week was like, so you're going to do something special for the 69th episode, right? And
We
so we have
are?
Nick for the
Sorry.
69th episode. So we have Nick Viall here today, the host of the Viall Files. You have possibly one of the best podcast names. Did you wake up one day and you're like, I was born with a last name made for a great rhyme? Or like, how did it come to be?
It was Topher Grace,
Okay.
who is friends with my acting coach. I don't remember what the alternatives were, but they said the Viall Files, and I was like, great, you know?
Book it.
I'm glad you guys like it, because you know how like a lot of podcasts, they have a name for the audience.
Yeah,
you know?
We're going through an identity crisis
we're
right
having
now,
it.
actually.
Yes, us too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never really like
So
the
you-
gang, you know, like we tried to call them the Viall Files.
That's kind of cute.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not.
It didn't really catch on.
Yeah. It's weird when you gotta like try and throw around a bunch of them and see what sticks.
Ooh, when you got to make it happen?
When you gotta make
That's
it happen.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's also like I feel like I have a unique relationship with my audience relative to other people. Like I'm like the brother or the friend that you have to have, not necessarily you want to have.
Wait, that's so funny. I have never heard someone describe.
How many episodes did it take for you that to sink in?
A while, yeah.
How did you learn that like dynamic? People, they want you. Why would they want you?
Well, I like try to be a tough critic, but like I'm always just kind of. I mean, I'm really quite. I'm passionate about my podcast, so I'm always thinking about it, thinking about the show, trying to understand my audience, and looking at what else is out there. And also like I'm very thankful to have the audience that I have. Like it's an audience predominantly of women.
Us too, yeah. We're like 94% women or something.
Yeah.
I think I'm right around there.
Yeah.
As a straight white male, like I guess it's like
There's not many of you in LA, to be honest.
Yeah,
There's
so-
not many of you.
so I guess I'm just more like proud of the fact that I could maintain that, and so I appreciate the audience that I have, but it's a challenge to make sure that I'm staying relatable and those things, and I get why like my audience tunes in, but yeah, like the friend you hang out with.
I get it.
So like, when you think about the podcast names, it's like, I wonder, it's like an identity crisis.
Got it. I mean, we're Wild Till 9, obviously. And so what came first? I think it was Tilly's.
Yeah,
No. It was people want to do the Niners, but because that's a sports.
Football.
Yeah.
But-
We're like, no, that's taken.
And it was only worse when we said, well, the football team, and our audience goes, what football team?
yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
that's me
yeah.
though. I'm
And-
like,
and I go,
well, I don't understand. We're the first.
Got it. So that trademark was taken.
And then somehow we ended up at Tilly's, and now it's become the Tillards, which is not cute. Like
Not cute.
That's like a little abrasive to
On the way
mouth.
out.
Yeah,
On the way out.
So we're having an identity crisis of our own over here.
Yeah, but we realized we should have called it Third Wheel.
Yeah, I know. So our original podcast name was The Right Swipe, which is not a fun legal battle that you want to go up against with Bumble and Tinder, who obviously have like swipe right.
To be fair, the trademark lawyer said,
Do they
I don't
own
advise
that
this.
trademark?
So they're
Well-
in like a massive war for it, Bumble and Tinder, going head to head for
Yeah.
swipe
Tinder
right.
thinks they own it. Bumble thinks it's just common. No,
I would agree with Bumble.
You think? I kind of think Tinder started it.
I think they started it too, but
They
like,
certainly started it, but
I know. It's more just like a verb now. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily like a
Yeah.
like an adjective. So anyway, so we decided to not be the third party in that lawsuit.
No.
Even though the words would have been flipped and decided to go in a different direction.
could have been fun.
yeah, but I don't know if I'm certainly not a trademark lawyer, but if your audience names themselves,
But like, I think where things were getting like itchy is like if
Can I
we
make a
wanted to do
t-shirt? Merch.
merch and stuff
Yeah, that was a tough part. That was tough.
to make you itchy, you know?
No, that's gross. It's a weird way to say
I
it.
had amaretto the other day, and because I'm allergic to almonds, I didn't realize that amaretto was like an almond-based liqueur.
Yeah.
And immediately felt itchy. I felt itchy like physically and mentally.
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
also one of those, like, if something looks delicious and it's in front of you and there's like a little bit of almonds, like, oh, let's push them to the side.
Oh yeah, I'm like, fuck it, yeah, let's roll the
I'm
dice
like, what the
here.
fuck is wrong with you? Then I have to deal with that.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah. Also,
No.
I'm not an expert in allergies, but I
Doesn't add up.
ill-advised on the. I feel like you want a clean,
No, it's
clean brownie.
yeah.
I'd like
it's-
an expert, like a full podcast. I'm not an expert at this,
But here's
common
what
sense
I
would say.
think.
That's
Yeah.
mostly like my Ask Nick episodes. Like I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about, but let me give you my opinion.
But here I am.
people keep listening, so
Yeah, they do.
someone wants to hear it.
Yeah, I'm grateful for it.
Because you're like over 300 episodes now.
Yeah, like 360?
360.
Something like that. Yeah.
Would you start?
Oh my god.
Okay.
2019.
Okay, so yeah, that's. I mean, damn, that's still a lot of podcasts.
I think the average podcast
January.
lasts like 3
8.
episodes.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
It's
wild?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it.
8.
There you go.
It might be lower now. When I started my podcast, it was 8.
Got it.
Really?
Got it.
And it's changed now, or maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe it's still at 8.
It's probably 6 or 5.
yeah.
A lot of podcasts.
I would think my guess it's probably gotten lower with there's that many more podcasts out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
100%.
so I think
I totally agree.
because everyone like has one idea to
Do
talk
a
about
podcast.
one
Oh, it'd be so
episode.
funny if we talked about this.
Yeah. And then
And
that
then
episode
stop.
3
Yeah.
is like, wow.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. You talk about something.
So you're predominantly like relationship and dating stuff on your podcast, right?
Yeah, that's a big, it's essentially like 3 different shows.
Right. So you got the Ask Nick.
The Ask Nick, which is literally just relationship and dating. And, if you ask me like something that's not relationship and dating, I'll give you my opinion.
Not an expert, but
But it's primarily relationship and dating. I
Should I refinance my house? Well,
I'm
let's walk
not
through
an
it.
expert, but
well, because all I really do is give people a more honest view of their situation,
Right.
based on the idea that we generally have a hard time being honest with ourselves.
totally.
And so I'm good at that. So it really doesn't matter what it is about. And then we do the recap stuff, which is pop culture, a lot
Right.
of pop culture, and then my interviews. we'll always have like a there's always an interest in social dynamics and relationships, but you know, my guests have been pretty broad across the spectrum, and you know, a lot of the experts we'll bring in usually have some sort of connection with like relationships or social dynamics and things like that. So yeah.
Right. So Bachelor Nation, I mean, and obviously I'm sure people watching, like, is that like your number one kind of like where they were introduced to you is via the Bachelor Nation kind of community?
Yeah, certainly like to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been nice because now when I travel, at least certain parts of the country, when I get stopped, it seems to be more podcasts now. But,
Oh, really? Isn't that cool? Like when your brand shifts, like from where you started. So we had Harry Jowsey on not too long ago, and same thing. Like he got his start kind of like on reality, love and relationship TV, and like has transitioned. Yeah, I mean, not quite the same as Bachelor. Like definitely a different like bucket of show.
Just like Bachelor after The Bachelor had happened. Like the producers had seen that show and then watched him in a new one.
Right, exactly.
yeah.
But same thing. So it's like the brand shift is really nice. I think when you're able to like build your brand out and shift your audience over to something that is like, you know, maybe more aligned with what you're doing now.
Yeah, it's very flattering, and Bachelor Nation, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and they have a very passionate fan base. So
Like so passionate.
so to be able to have people acknowledge the podcast and is nice.
I mean, Bachelor Nation is one of like the most passionate fan bases I think that I've gone in and out of being a Bachelor Nationer. What is there a term for the fans in the Bachelor Nation?
I think just
Or we're
Bachelor Nation.
Bachelor Nation.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was a Bachelor.
Like, are you part of Bachelor Nation?
Bachelor- yeah,
Kind of
exactly.
Whatever they can hashtag.
It was like, it feels like a hardcore club that like if I wasn't caught up with the episodes, I was like, oh, I'm not cool enough to be in this club because people are in it.
Yeah, I've never been in that club.
They're very passionate.
Super
And
passionate.
I am grateful for them, but they can get annoying sometimes.
Opinionated?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because I can't even imagine. So like obviously like on YouTube, like I've been doing vlogging forever. And so people can obviously like formulate an opinion based on the content you're making. And that's even when I'm editing that. So I can't even imagine the opinions that people have towards you when it's a show where you're not necessarily in control of the entire narrative.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a challenge, and that's the thing. You always have to remind yourself, at least, especially now, like when you're on the show, you just want to be liked. But when you're like, you know, and certainly from a podcast standpoint or entertainment, you just want people to care.
Totally.
Yeah.
And them caring about you doesn't always mean they agree with you.
That's a great way to put it.
And that can get tiring, but you have to remind yourself, as long as they care.
As long as I care. That's a really good perspective that I think I need to like.
Oh, the amount of times I'm just like, you stopped in your day to leave this comment on my page.
Right.
Thank you.
You care.
Complete bullshit
Do
comment.
you
but
argue
yeah.
with the internet?
All the fucking time?
No, that's not true.
Are you kidding?
I've gotten so much better. I've been doing internet stuff for 10 years now. And
You've been doing it for 10 years and you're still doing it?
no, okay, I've come so far. You both of you need to stop tagging.
Fucking lights fire and goes, I didn't start it. They were already saying something stupid. I'm like, Jesus.
So I've gotten a lot better, okay? But when
I'm so glad there's 3 cameras on right now.
I know. The only time where I really feel passionate about like clapping back at someone is when it's in relation to someone that's not me. So if someone tries to like come shit on Jeremy, like
Sure.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
fingers are flying.
I'm over here in a meeting and I'm starting to get just like notifications of just like, Lord DIY says this. I'm like, chill out.
But yeah, I guess. I mean, I get it. I get it.
No. Trust me, you are right. I am wrong here. Fully am acknowledging that it is not worth my time, and caring does not mean like and everything. And like, trust me, I have had the pep talk 1,000 times.
It's not easy to do, and I certainly am not perfect at it. But
I
I've been
wonder-
pretty good. Cassie David wrote in her book.
Are you about to give me like life-changing
Yeah,
perspective?
wow.
It really
honestly.
helps me.
Yeah,
It really helps me
lay it
because
on me, lay it on me.
ever since she had this little blurb, and it was any response to an internet troll, no matter how amazing it sounds to you in your head, is insane.
Is it? Fuck.
And
That's not where I thought that was going.
and I was like, yeah, it is. And so when I've had moments of weakness from like, motherfucker,
yeah, you just want to do it.
I'm like, nah, you know, 100% of the time, the best response is no response. Because all you're really doing is activating them and giving them
Totally.
attention and
Yes.
acknowledging
Yes.
them.
And drawing attention to the first place.
I know.
And they can't help themselves, whoever they are.
Right, whoever they is.
You know.
Yeah, whatever. I want to go back to something that we have in common: Midwest roots.
Oh, where are you from?
Illinois.
Okay.
Right down south of you. I got like 3 lines into like learning about Nick, and I go, I got this guy. Perfect. Yeah. Do you go back often?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, often. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Well, what am I trying to? I'm trying to buy back the lake house that my grandfather built for my mom.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
But it's been a bit of a
You did say trying.
potentially sad story.
Okay.
Oh no.
We'll see.
But
Okay, well,
but
fingers crossed.
we've got a few people that could just put some good vibes out there right now.
Yeah, give me some good vibes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, it's the place. I have it actually tattooed in my chest, but yeah, my grandfather built it back in the day. It's in like central Wisconsin, and it's what I remember as kind of paradise. But when my grandfather died when I was 10, it was it was too big of a property for my grandma to
right to upkeep.
keep up, and it was a time in my life where my mom and her brothers were just getting started with theirs, and it made sense to let it go. And I think they quickly regretted it a few years later when my uncles had some success. But I just kind of always, I have this recurring dream about it. And
Oh my God, you have a recurring dream about it?
oh yeah, man, it's this really sad recurring dream.
Oh my
It's just
God,
like
oh
I'm always on the lake. It's a lake house,
Okay.
and it's always some version of like I'm back on the lake and like we're sneaking in, and the owners. Like it's like weird, like my grandma has this, it's a weird thing, but I'm like there and I'm on the lake, but I know it's not
It's
ours.
not yours.
Like you have to sneak
right.
into the house that
Yeah.
you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay, I will say
And-
though that actually sounds less sad than what I thought you were gonna say.
No,
where
that's-
it's like
no,
you had like the
it-
most amazing
It goes,
memories.
it gets worse.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
Okay. Sorry.
It's
Sorry.
not
Go
sad
ahead.
yet, only because, well, I mean, it's the first probably coincidentally. So the people who bought it from my grandfather 31 years ago currently own it. When I got the tattoo of the lake house earlier this year, and I reached out to my uncles, I was like, "Hey, do you know who owns it?" And they're like, "I think it's, they weren't really sure." And I could have reached out. I should have reached out, but I didn't like track it down. It wasn't top of mind. But I found out that it like a couple weeks ago was on the market.
Ooh.
And then I found out
someone.
immediately after that someone put an offer in and then accepted. I was a day late.
No.
So I have been trying to,
Persuade.
well, more than persuade, buy the contract.
Yeah.
Credit checks are done. Can they actually afford the place? Loans going through.
Well,
there we go. There we go.
The appraisal came in lower than they anticipated. So this person who his name's Tom. I know his name is Tom,
Oh God.
Okay.
Of course it's Tom.
the buyer.
You
And
want
it's
you want
sad-
Tom to be the seller. You don't want Tom to be the buyer.
It's sad because Hank is the guy who owns it, and he remembers my grandfather, and he was bummed because he's like, I wish I could have,
Oh my God. So he wanted to sell it to you, like in an ideal world as well too for him.
And I don't know how many of you are familiar with real estate, but the seller, once you have agreed upon contract, pretty much once you agree and you're in escrow, you don't have a lot of options to pull out. You have to give the buyer every opportunity to meet the things
the
they agreed to
requirements.
meet.
Right,
And so,
right.
but the appraisal came in a little bit low,
Okay.
Okay.
which is good news for me. And they got to come up with a chunk of money that they didn't anticipate.
Oh.
So we'll see. But I've offered him more money than it was. I offered him 20% of the purchase price.
Oh
So?
shit.
And that's what's frustrating.
I mean, that's a quick buck for them.
Any normal person whose grandfather didn't build the house and didn't dream about it and have it tattooed to their body
Yeah.
would take this fucking deal I'm offering them.
Yes.
I don't know. My
You should
mom's
be
all
like,
upset, and because I want to just give it to my mom. It's in central Wisconsin.
Right,
so,
right.
like,
You're not planning on moving
I'm
there.
not moving there. Certainly, I would enjoy it in the summer. And so, to answer your question, do I go back a lot? I would go back more.
Yeah.
If you had.
Do you want the Tillies to go completely vandalize it right now and
No.
really
No,
drop
no,
the
we're
price
gonna go
down?
find Tom.
No.
Break his ankles.
Well, we need Tom to want to sell it to me. So
Okay, got it. All right.
I don't think Tom knows what the fuck I am. But
Tom's actually a big listener. Tom,
Tom, big
please
fan. Yeah,
knock it
Tom,
off.
when
Just
you're
take
listening.
the money. Yeah.
So we'll see.
You'll get a call in a week.
It's really been consuming my life the past few weeks.
Okay.
If he says no, You should make him be like, well, you have to get the tattoo now. I have the tattoo, and if you want to own this property, you too have to have the
You know, my
chest
mom
tattoo.
wrote him a letter, I wrote a letter. And it's like, do I try to pull on the heartstrings? Knowing that's only going to cost me more money.
Right.
But I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. So
Oh my God.
Yeah, but if he's already down a little bit and he's looking at an offer that's 20% up, that's a pretty
That's
good deal.
I have a lot of information, but I don't have the whole story, and I haven't talked to this guy. But a lot of it doesn't make sense because, again, I offer him 20% of the purchase price.
Yeah, like, so what would be his incentive that he wants it so bad?
I mean, like might like the house.
I guess
Yeah.
I've heard what I know about him. He's in his 50s-ish. He's an engineer. He's got 3 kids.
I love that you've got the profile built
I'm
out.
trying to figure this guy out.
Yeah,
honestly,
size 11.
just give a
But-
little more information to girls, and like we are FBI agents and can track this guy down and give us like 15
He was
minutes.
on The Bachelor. He knows.
I need him to. I need him to want to sell me the house. But like I heard they were looking for a couple years. You know, and I think maybe on this lake. And again, it's a relatively private lake, and I think a lot of the families on there kind of know each other.
Yeah.
And
If it's been in the family for a long time.
so I don't know. So sorry for that long story.
That's all right. That's all right. That's hard. That's what you're going on.
Yeah,
That's your life right
that's
now.
real life right
That's
now
what's
for
going
Nick
on.
Viall
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis.
We know that it's going uphill from here. Then, like that's the sad part.
Yeah, and well, also I feel lucky that it's one of those weird things. I don't believe in everything happens for a reason or fate or destiny.
we just had this conversation.
Literally just we talked about last episode.
Oh my God.
But it all is a bit irritating because it is the first time this is the first year of my life. I bought my first house last year.
Mm-hmm.
So realistically, this is like the first year of my life where I would even be in a position
Right.
to buy this house, let alone like try to buy this guy out on top of buying the house.
Right.
And the fact that I missed it by a goddamn day.
Oh
is
my
just
God,
like,
that's so frustrating.
it's just like annoying. And so we'll see.
Okay, so I know this sounds crazy, and I'm gonna get bullied by my Canadians because I grew up in Canada, but it's like a little cold in LA. It's like a little cold for like Southern California, which we know like it isn't that cold, and so I get it. I don't want to get bullied, but you get the point. And so with cold hair comes dry hair, which is never ideal. Recently, the only thing that has been saving my hair from becoming completely brittle is Ouai's amazing leave-in conditioner. It conditions, detangles, and leaves hair smooth, shiny, and manageable, just what the doctor prescribed.
Ouai's leave-in conditioner protects hair from heat up to 450 degrees. I can also say it smells amazing. I can also say that I've been stealing it from Lauren for quite some time now.
Is that why it's going so fast?
There's a floral fragrance. We've talked about it before. It's bergamot, a little bit of violet and a little bit of white musk. And I gotta be honest, it smells a little bit better than my option. So I've been borrowing.
I knew it. I knew it was going fast. Say goodbye to frizz, tangles, flyaways, and breakage for all hair types. It's the perfect product to add into your hair care routine.
That's why I did it.
I see that now. I like to use it on every other wash. It's a nice excuse to indulge in some self-care, which we all love.
Discover a new way of life with cruelty, sulfate, and paraben-free hair care, body, and fragrance products from Ouai. Go to THEOUAI.com and use code WILD to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's 15% off your entire purchase at THEOUAI.com, code WILD.
Our next sponsor is the jewelry brand Ana Luisa. That's ANALUISA. They create pieces of exceptional quality with affordable pricing. And once you see what they have to offer, you are going to be running and not walking to sign on to shop.analuisa.com/wild. Their pieces start at $39 with sales up to 25% off. Ever since being introduced to Ana Luisa, I am such a fan. I have been wearing their earrings. I put them in my ears and they just like haven't left. And I also love going to their site to browse more options, knowing that I won't break the bank, but I'll still get the best quality.
Ana Luisa is also the perfect place to go when shopping for gifts during the holidays. They have something for everyone. Plus, with their fair prices starting at $39, you can get great gifts without breaking the bank. Just go to shop.analuisa.com/wild for 25% off your purchase.
With new jewelry collections released every Friday, Ana Luisa is the perfect place to buy something for yourself or a loved one. I absolutely recommend checking out Ana Luisa. Shop.analuisa.com/wild. That's ANALUISA. Their pieces start at $39 with sales up to 25% off. Get your holiday gift on shop.analuisa.com/wild. Oh my God.
Time will tell.
Oh my God.
Time will tell.
So Jeremy and I are both only children. We have no siblings.
Your only children.
Both of us. And then
I'm like an only child with 10 siblings.
an only child with 10 siblings.
At a certain point, that you got to kind of feel almost isolated in your like flood of children.
Well, I was the second oldest, but I was the oldest boy.
Okay.
And I've just always been independent and just always kept to myself. You know?
Why is that?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't imagine having 10 siblings.
I mean, I'm going to exaggerate, but I was surrounded by sisters, and I never lacked love from my parents.
Right.
So yeah, I never tattled.
Wait, what city did you grow up in Wisconsin?
Waukesha, Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I've been there many times.
Pre-Bachelor. Okay, so I feel like I'm nervous that I'm gonna just get absolutely roasted by our audience if I don't cover my bases.
Oh,
and I
God.
feel like you've probably answered so many Bachelor questions.
Could we, like,
1,000
rapid fire 'em?
times. I know. So I want to be like, okay, what was this like? What was
Let's
this
get
like?
through
What
'em.
was this like? But I think the initial question that Jeremy had that was actually so interesting that I didn't come across in other podcasts that you've done is how does one get to be re-invited back to Bachelor and Bachelor Nation as many times as you did?
Yeah. What a finesse.
Coincidence.
Coincidence?
No, it's got to be more than
So
that.
what came first? Was it
They're all different reasons.
Bachelorette was first, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's sure. I'll tell you, it's really simple. The first time my friend signed me up.
That's
Okay.
I feel like that's always how it happens.
Yeah, it's one of the two, or you
Yeah.
sign like
Is that even legal?
What do you
For him
mean?
to set you up?
To sign somebody
Well,
up?
they
encouraged
submitted.
you.
Okay, got it.
They said, I
Got
have a
it.
friend. Here's a little bit about him.
Yeah. And now I have to go on TV?
They reached out to me and asked if I was interested, and long story short, I went on.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And the second time, I was legit going for the girl in a sense that, Caitlin, who ended up being the Bachelorette, we
Yes.
formed essentially like a FaceTime relationship months before.
Wow, that's so 2021. You were ahead of the curve.
You were?
Sure were. Yeah. And certainly we got caught up in that kind of, moment, I suppose. So the second time was legit for the girl.
I love that. That's like that. I feel like that's what Bachelor Nation needs to hear to like believe that like it's all about like actual love.
Yeah. I mean, again, the second time.
You're like so the other
Listen,
time.
1 for 2 is not terrible.
No, there's no. It
Well,
was
the first time
Well,
I
so
went.
far 1 for 2.
1 for 2. Okay.
Well, the first time was for the experience,
Right.
And I actually ended up also, falling for Andy and the show, and the third time was Paradise, and the show, at that point I was a 2-time runner-up.
Yep.
It was their third season of Paradise. For the show at the time, they considered me a get. And
You're
so yeah,
seasoned pro.
they were pretty persistent and persuasive to get me on Paradise, and so I went. And I had friends who had been there before who I knew were going again, and they sold it, and like it's a lot. It's a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun.
And then the last time they asked me to do The Bachelor, and I was like, oh, sure.
I love how it's like the main stage was the last one in that process of different.
I mean, better than being like the Bachelor and then just being like last place 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
they're all different experiences, though. I guess
Yeah.
so.
I mean, you put your dues in. You're ready.
You really did. You paid your
Yeah.
dues to be the Bachelor.
I certainly paid my dues. Yeah, but I was pretty sick to my stomach when they asked me, but
Yeah.
in like an excited way or like a oh shit kind of way.
No, it was like I knew I would say yes
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it seemed like
Committed to the process.
it's an attractive opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I thought I should say no.
Yeah. Wait, what year was the last year?
2016.
Okay.
I actually said to him, shouldn't I quit while I was ahead? Because I was
After Bachelor in Paradise.
I was thriving in
Yeah,
Paradise,
yeah.
and but I have no regrets. It all worked out.
And the first year was how long is the span that you were more or less going in and out of the lot?
About 3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, that's a lot of Bachelor Nation all
Yeah.
packed into 3 years. What was your dating life like before your friend signed you up? Like, what was he so inspired within your life to be like, this guy right here?
Well, I was really just the only single one of my friends left.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I forget Midwest. Everyone's married by
Yeah,
23.
that's right.
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what my friends thought of me. I mean, overall, like, minus like things they would be like, oh, Nick sucks at this, or he annoys me with this. I think they thought I was an all right
Kind of guy.
candidate,
A good catch.
Isn't it funny? We don't really know how our friends feel about us as guys. Like growing up, like, I think we're cool. I don't know why we're cool. We just are cool. Always have been cool.
It seems really relaxing to be a guy with like guy friendships.
Seems stressful to be a girl with girlfriends.
It's very stressful. It's very stressful over on the side.
Yeah. But I think, I grew up in, like, again, Milwaukee. And so I think in my group of friends, my friends fancied me as like the Vinny Chase of the group.
Right.
Which isn't like saying much to my friend group, but
Right.
It is, mind you.
I was single, and my buddy's wife, who was a big fan of the show at the time.
She was, oh my God, she must have just absolutely died seeing you like get sucked up and wrapped up in like this whirlwind of a journey then if she's a big fan.
I don't know how much she watches now, but yeah, I think it was pretty surreal
At the
first.
time.
Yeah.
I know a girl, actually I know a couple people who have been on recent seasons, and it was during the pandemic at the beginning, and so it was like the crazy quarantine period, so she was there for, it would have been 2.5 weeks before they even started shooting.
Matt James' season?
Matt James' season, yep. And then she was one of the girls that they brought out in like that second wave of people.
Can you say her name?
I'll tell you afterwards.
You're saying it like it's like, you're like, you
I
can
don't think she
talk.
lasted very long.
No, she literally went home the first night. And so she was quarantined for that whole first section. Then she had to wait because she was in the second wave, and then had like one conversation with him.
Imagine going back to your
and went
friends being
home.
like, I'm already back.
Oh my God.
I'm there.
There's something
That's
about
like,
that.
I can't wait to
would
see
be,
you.
like,
No,
so
don't watch,
embarrassed. I
please.
know.
Don't watch. Seriously, don't watch.
I was first one kicked off.
That's tough.
Because you're right. It feels like, especially in the beginning, I'm sure it's like you just want to be like liked.
Yeah, I mean, I my first thought was my only goal was to not go home night one.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And that's even without the quarantine period where you have to waste 3 weeks of your life before
Yeah,
that.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so if Bachelor didn't happen, what's Nick doing now?
Selling something, probably software still.
Honestly, you guys have a lot of similarities. I was like, catching up on your career and stuff. Honestly, you guys are very similar. There was
Like
actually
selling something. That would be my answer.
Yeah, well, salespeople can just sell anything. Like if you're good at selling and good with people, you can sell anything. Like you will never not have a job in
Well,
sales.
sure, you're just selling dreams.
You're selling. There it is.
You're solving problems.
You're solving problems.
But not actually solving anything.
Exactly. Barely solving anything.
Oh,
but
potentially.
making dreams come true.
Listen, every once in a while. A broken clock twice a day. Yeah.
Why did you call? Tell me your problem.
Yeah.
Let's
Tell
fix
me about
it.
your day.
I can't believe you called me with that exact problem.
I have the solution.
Yeah. It's I can't believe it.
There was one, I forget which podcast it was that you said this, but it was it was just like uncanny how similar it was to something that Jeremy and I have spoken about a lot on our podcast. And it's around the topic of fuckboys. And it's like, you're a fuckboy until you find someone that makes you not want to be a fuckboy anymore.
Ooh, that's a good quote.
Yeah.
Is that you?
It's a line in my book.
Oh, it's a line in your book?
It hasn't come out yet.
Book, when's that coming out?
Next October. I'm old enough where the phrase player used to be a thing.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
And then like not too long ago, like fuckboys kind of took over. But I think there's a clear distinction between players and fuckboys.
Okay. Yeah. Give
Consider
us the
me
rundown.
interested.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the fact that we are now in this thing called hookup culture. So in general, we're just as people who are dating are participating in hookup culture. Not everyone, but the average person, it's more socially acceptable than ever before to have sex as we date, like pre-marriage or whatever, And as a result, we have become, and when I say we, I mean men and women. Women can be fuckboys.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'll just label it as fuckboy. It is all encompassing.
So yeah, I just think that anyone can be a fuckboy, and it usually comes down to these things that we are calling situationships now, because we're non-committal and we have so many options. It's paralysis of choice, and there's all these dating apps, and either you're not ready to settle down, or
Yeah,
whatever,
heard that.
or
Heard
whatever,
that before.
or you're just not sure. So if you're participating in dating and hookup culture, someone has thought of you as a fuckboy,
Yes.
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 And by you, anyone.
Yeah.
And,
I'm kind of flattered by it, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Like if someone's considering me as a fuck person, I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, it just comes down
You
to
can tell she hasn't been considered that very often. So I'm kind of flattered. I'm like,
No,
oh my God.
It's like when you see that meme of like when you get kidnapped, you're like, you chose me
oh
to
God.
kidnap.
no, but that's the thing.
Get out.
There's plenty of women who, like, you know, men wouldn't say, "Oh, she's a fuckboy," but in theory, they're doing the same thing in the sense that they feel like they have options.
Totally.
They're non-committal. They're having, you know, casual sex with someone they kind of like, but they're not sure. You know, people who like having people around. We've become terrible communicators because the ability to communicate via text or, you know,
Snapchat.
through whatever is
Yeah.
so easy that, you know, it's very easy to be kind of inconsiderate and dismissive to people. And I think that creates these kind of fuckboy situations and that's what leads to disappointment. We've gotten, it's fascinating because through hookup culture, we're having more sex with essentially strangers. And I don't care if you're having a one night stand. You know, like I probably said that, and they're probably your listeners be like, "I don't have sex with strangers. I've never had a one night stand." It's just like
Dude, everyone that you meet is essentially a stranger at the beginning. So
the guy you dated for 3 weeks and been on 6 dates with, he's a fucking stranger.
Stranger, yeah,
you know?
totally.
I hate to break it to you. Like I don't.
I feel like people have
someone
like
needed to hear that. Somebody did.
no, but I feel like people like the word stranger is like got a negative association because people are like stranger danger, stranger. You know, like as kids, like that was hammered into us, which just means like a person you're not familiar with.
Well, Mom didn't
Yeah.
say to have sex with stranger danger. She said no. None of that.
Stranger danger.
None of that.
So we're doing that, and like again, I've participated in hookup culture. We're all doing it.
You haven't
know.
participated in hookup culture, have
Never.
you?
I was a virgin.
Oh,
yeah.
until now.
Yeah, literally till today.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Born again.
Oh,
Once
that's so
again.
nice. Great.
Yeah.
And so, so we're having more and more sex with people we don't know very well. And then we're also, all of us in general are getting, defining the relationship as like sex, no problem. I'll fuck, you know, people are just all right, 3 dates, cool. I'm good. Let's have sex, you know, whatever.
I mean, one date. I'm down with the one date too. I feel
Whatever.
like
Again, no judgment. I'm not
No
even telling
judgment.
people to wait, or I'm just saying that is what we're doing.
Totally,
So having sex sooner than later, no problem. Having a conversation about expectations and defining
Oh,
things.
yeah,
They're like,
red
slow
flags.
down.
Whoa. Slow down.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I didn't know you were gonna get all weird
Yeah, I
on
know.
me.
Don't make it weird.
Yeah. Then when you leave,
And
you
it's
just didn't
not.
talk
And
to
it's
me.
not just men. You know.
Oh, totally.
Men certainly aren't great at it. But we, you know, and again, a lot of it has to do with, you know, always looking for the better option. It's the analogy I use is like Netflix. You know, we're constantly looking for the best previews, and we're afraid to press play on a movie because we're not sure if we'll like it. So we'll keep watching previews to find that thing we want to watch, knowing that we could press play and set the movie at any time. That we don't want to do that. We got to find the movie we want to watch for the rest of our life, and we just spend all this time doing it. You know, and so that kind of situation of having sex with people we don't know that well. Avoiding conversations about expectations and boundaries is just creating a bunch of situations where we feel disappointed after, you know, having something as intimate and as serious as sex. And that's why you're just like, there's a fuckboy, you know, like.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
what's the
Netflix
difference? I mean,
This is
that
Netflix
really
dating.
is the most perfect
Yeah.
analogy of because we struggle with that so hard of like watching. We go on YouTube to
Sorry,
watch
so with what?
pitching or surfing on. I mean, I watched the whole movie and I liked the movie and I chose to watch the movie forever. But you happened to watch a whole bunch of previews before you found the movie that you liked.
Yeah.
Again, guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, there was a couple.
You watched a few previews.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, one or two.
Just one or two.
Yeah.
One or two.
Sometimes you just have to press play and get surprised. And the good news is, if in the first 20 minutes we're just like, yeah,
Pause.
Not for me.
you didn't bring me in. I'm just
It's
gonna.
not going to. I didn't get hooked. I didn't get hooked on the plot.
No.
We're avoiding like defining the relationship as if like we even have a conversation about like maybe we should just only focus on each other, not sleep with other people. As if like that is the same as getting married.
Right.
Right.
100%. That's what it is. I went through something similar where
But you know why? I'm sorry for interrupting. Go on, finish your thought.
I know I can't wait for you to debunk all of this. Maybe this is like the therapy session that I needed. And I was like, addicted to the chase of wanting them to commit because it was like a reflection of what I thought my self-esteem was worth, right? Because
Well, you were chasing validation.
I was chasing validation 100%. It's exactly what it was. And obviously, like, hindsight's 2020. And I'm not like, now you dumb bitch. Like, if you wanted to have dated
If you had just listened to the Viall Files.
if you had just listened to the Viall
And asked
Files,
them-
Never
question.
called anyone a dumb bitch on my show.
it's okay. I'm calling myself
Can you
a
imagine,
dumb
listen,
bitch.
you dumb bitch. All right, here's how we're going to.
Yeah, here's how we're gonna lay it down for you today.
And you would have said, that's not me. No, he doesn't get it.
So, anyways, I was chasing validation for a very long time, and it was so unfulfilling, even when it then was validated.
Yeah. Well, our egos will never be satisfied.
I know.
It's an
Especially
unquestionable
when you work on the
thing.
That's true.
internet. Fuck, when you have Instagram,
It
you
will
would never be
never
satisfied.
be enough. Yeah.
Wait, so you got book, you got a podcast?
No. Hang on. Back up.
Wait.
Back up. So that's the fuck boy. And so what is the difference between a player and a fuck boy?
Oh, yes.
Well, hold on. Let me finish that other thought that I had is that part of that reason that we have this kind of epidemic of fuckboys too is that we judge each other for having lots of exes. So part of the reason why we're afraid to press play and watch a movie and date someone and say for a month or two and just get to know them and I guess put a label on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that if it doesn't work out,
It adds another like quote unquote number.
X.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and people don't really care about their number. But if like you date someone, you're like, so like, how many exes have you had? And you're just
Yeah.
like 10. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with me? So we should stop doing that, you know. And
So what should we do?
True. No, but that's so true. And like what I was thinking too is that I think like in 2021 now, it's like a majority of people have social media, and so for someone to be able to go back and look at every single ex that someone has had and like, you know, build this narrative of like what that person was like and why they did them because they look like this. Here are the similarities between our like personalities of what I can pull from their social media page. Like that is such a toxic, fucked up culture that I have definitely also participated
Yeah, I was going to
in.
say, weird.
And it
Sounds like-
definitely is 10 out of 10 would not recommend, but it's something that you have access to and like will always have access to with like the current state of social media.
Yeah, not going away anytime soon.
Recently, I have not been able to set my phone down playing this mystery game, June's Journey. You play as June Parker, an amateur detective investigating the mysterious death of her sister.
June's Journey is a free download for your phone or tablet, and it contains endless hours of fun with thousands of intricate scenes and new chapters every week. All you need is your phone or tablet along with the internet connection, and you are set to start solving this mystery. Oh, plus, I would also say that the couch is most likely the best place to start playing.
There is nowhere else that I want to.
Wait, we know that, Lauren. You're on the couch.
I want to, if I'm going to solve a mystery as June, I want to be on the couch.
Yeah, I hope that they have a money back guarantee for the couch dent you're creating.
Yeah. For the money, the dent I'm creating.
Yeah,
I mean, I gotta have a place to play my games.
I get it.
Search for hidden objects and collect clues to solve the mystery in June's Journey. Also, can we just talk about the graphics on here? I feel like I'm genuinely in the game. Even though I'm on my couch, I feel like I'm in the game. This game has been the best addition to my wind down after a long day of work. I'll melt into the couch, snuggle moose, and start playing.
Ready to awaken your inner detective? Download June's Journey free today on the Apple App Store or Google Play. The holidays can be fun, but we all know they can also be tough for some people. We want you to live your best life, Chili's. If something is holding you back from doing so, then our next sponsor, BetterHelp, is here to, well, help.
BetterHelp is a safe and private environment online that connects you with the help that you need. BetterHelp is not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It is professional counseling done securely online. Everything you share is confidential, and you can send a message to your counselor anytime. Personally, I am a big fan of phone therapy right now. It's definitely the best fit for my lifestyle. Everything you share is confidential, and you can send a message to your counselor anytime. They also give you the option to set up scheduled video or phone sessions weekly if you want to stick to a routine.
We talked about how frustrating it is that getting help can sometimes be too expensive for people, and BetterHelp is changing that with affordable prices and available financial aid. BetterHelp is also committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/WT9. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WT9. Let's be real. Shopping for underwear is not exactly the most fun time.
Speak for yourself.
Some pairs just don't fit right and they aren't exactly cute or they're just super expensive. I dreaded this process so much that I would rather just like wear old pairs that work from years ago than shop for new ones. But that all changed when I upgraded my underwear game with Parade. I am obsessed and you will be too. I have been living in their naked thong. For real though, like it is in the script, but I truly have been living in their naked thong.
Can confirm.
Seriously, guys, it is so soft and seamless, so it honestly feels like you are wearing nothing at all. They also have a great size range from extra small to triple XL. The brand celebrates all body types, identities, and personal stories. It feels great to support a brand that is truly representative, inclusive, and empowering.
Parade also has a commitment to social good. They use recycled fabrics, biodegradable packaging, and are on the road to carbon positivity. They also donate 1% of all sales to causes I personally can choose from, like reproductive rights, racial equity, and LGBTQIA+ communities.
Upgrade your underwear drawer like I did with Parade. Head to yourparade.com/wild and use code WILD to get 20% off your first order. That's yourparade.com/wild, code WILD for 20% off your first order.
Yeah, we definitely go about love and relationships like totally the wrong way.
100%.
That's mostly because like, you know, it's not our fault. It's like The Notebook and Sex in the City and and like have you guys watched The Notebook recently?
We watched The Notebook recently. No, not in a while.
It's a fantastic movie. Like I like it. As far as like chick flicks go,
it's a good one.
It's a quality movie.
You hit play, watch the whole thing.
But those fuckers are toxic people.
Oh my God. Yeah, 100%.
Noah was insane. Noah got his first date by threatening to kill himself.
Yep.
And then on the first date, they lied in the middle of a road, and he tried to kill her too.
It's a great start. It's a great start. You're
Then
really building the foundation.
He fixed the house, threatened to kill someone who tried to buy the house.
Right.
There's a theme here.
Yep.
She would lose her mind over the silliest things.
You know what this is? The modern day version of The Notebook is the Netflix show You. Did you watch that one?
Oh,
I tried to watch it.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'm also fast. It's uncomfortable how creepy he is, and I don't get why it's so popular with the ladies.
You know what it is?
Creepy.
I think it's like the demographic of my age who like grew up with Gossip Girl. We have like this association of him because he was, spoiler alert, he was a Gossip Girl, but like he was the good guy in that
Gossip
show.
Girl?
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yes, I told you that. We're watching the new one right now, and so I gave Jeremy the rundown of like the
You talking about the actor?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
I'm blanking on his name right now.
Well, that guy. Creepy ass guy.
But anyway, so we have this like, I feel like our generation has this idea of who he is, and it's like a good person. And so he's coming from an already really positive place, and like obviously he's creepy as fuck. But also there's another character later on, if you vest yourself in the show and press play a little longer, who also gets fucking insane and makes him look much more sane.
More sane.
Well,
and so two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, no, that dude becomes second scariest.
Literally, that person becomes second scariest.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I get where you're coming from. There's a creep factor for sure, but I think he becomes less creepy because we have this association with him that's like, oh, he's the good guy.
No, I think we just like to the point where like we almost feel bad for him. Like, oh, dude, you really fucked up.
But that show is like, we know that's all creepy and wrong.
You're right. Yeah. The Notebook is selling you on the love story.
The Notebook, we were like, people watch it, be like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want a guy to like want to kill himself for me.
Right.
And then we watched Sex in the City, and we were all like rooting for Carrie, and like Carrie is toxic as shit.
That was the most toxic relationship. Gonna be honest, I was never really rooting for Carrie. It was when he left her at the altar that I was like, bitch, do not ever go back. Spoiler alert.
You know, at this point, I think it's okay.
I mean, enough years have passed where it's like, if this is spoiler for you, that's your own problem.
Yeah.
Or you're just too young.
Or you're too young. Or you should just be going back and watch more.
Yeah, well, they'll probably make another one soon.
So yeah. Anyways, we're getting it all wrong. So we should just try to reverse engineer it. We're doing a better job.
I think we're for sure doing a better job. I think also too, people are like learning how to communicate better. But I agree, it's the opposite.
No, I don't think people are learning to communicate better at all. I think we're worse than ever.
I mean,
true. You know,
Yeah.
we're worse than ever, but we are learning things like boundaries. And
and like consent.
we have a long way to go.
Yeah, we're learning like what we have been ignoring for like 30 years.
We're unlearning. That's what it is. We're unlearning like the shitty communication stuff. Also, too, I feel like, I mean, not that mental health is completely tied to it, but in big ways, it is like weaved within the communication portion of a lot of relationships.
I don't know if we're necessarily getting better. I think we're getting good at calling out the stuff that we're bad at. I don't know if we're actually good at like fixing it.
I mean, okay, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
I think it's a little. I think we are getting worse at communicating, like shorthand with strangers.
Agreed.
Like in public, we're not as present. We are our heads on our phones.
Have you ever seen a Gen Z on Snapchat? It's the most interesting thing I've ever seen.
A Gen Z?
They communicate through, a Gen Z being. They communicate through Snapchat and they'll just send like a blurry picture of the corner of their head and then type their message over top of it. It's so weird. That's how they communicate. So it's not a text. It's like the corner of their face or like, it's so weird. It's so interesting. They can blast them off so quickly to each other. It's very odd.
Yeah, it's wild. But I do think you're right, though, that like therapy is being normalized, and that's
Totally.
good. And I think in relationships, some people are recognizing like more productive ways to talk, you know, through those things. So it's a little both.
I was listening to a podcast today and Jake Paul was talking about how him and his girlfriend do couples therapy together. And he was like, I was like, I can't believe this is coming out of the mouth of Jake Paul. He was like, I exercise my body every day. I work on my business every day. So why shouldn't I be working on my relationship every day? And I was like,
Smart,
did Jake Paul just drop some fat knowledge?
I don't think he made that up.
No, he definitely didn't make it up. But I mean, I can commend a dude like that whose, like dating history is, would not fall not under the fucking
poster child,
right?
yeah.
Exactly. And so I was like, good for you, Jake Paul. Good for you. You haven't gotten everything right, but that you got right.
Did you have any comments on that?
I applaud him for doing therapy with his girlfriend.
I think that's great. We have a few friends who do couples therapy. One in particular is in an open relationship, and so they are.
Seems like you might need therapy.
And
I'm not knocking it, but like it requires a lot of
the amount of communication,
therapy, and No, I think it's great. I mean, that's the thing about love is I think it's an extraordinarily powerful thing. I think we all agree on that it's like kind of a really intense.
Oh my god,
thing,
it makes
right?
you go crazy.
And we have no problem thinking like so we turn 18, right? Or whenever we're like in puberty, and then we start liking, and then our parents let us date a little bit. But essentially, like 18, our love life in our mind starts. Like
Sure, adult.
Yeah, and if I were to be like, here's a Indy car, and I just dropped it off at your house at 18, like some people would like get in and start driving, but most people would be like, thanks, but can you like show me how to drive it? Like, I feel like it might be a little unsafe for me to get in there and step on the gas.
Right, and just go.
But we do that with our love life.
And so then we smash into like
let's figure it out. We're just two people just kind of like grinding the gears and slamming into each other.
What do you mean it's manual?
Yeah, what do you mean?
And then we crash, and then we cry, and then we try again.
And crash and cry.
And then people are like, do you want to like talk to someone about like how to like
Maybe
process your
lesson?
emotions and just I don't know, like maybe, and they're like, no, I don't need that, so
and then here we are 2021.
I think therapy is great because we've been trying to like drive sports cars and rocket ships
Since 18.
without any manuals,
No license,
with
no manuals.
with the only manual being movies and TV shows, and our parents saying don't have sex before marriage.
Right.
And our podcasts.
And the Viall Files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was only since around 2019.
Well, all right. So we only have the last 2 or 3 years to be blamed
Of
for
the manual.
Yeah.
My parents actually never really did the whole like no sex before marriage.
Cool.
I don't think they ever, not that they were like, go have sex, like go have safe sex.
Oh, I
but,
thought you were talking about them. I was like, oh, they were just fucking from day one?
Ew, oh my god,
That's
no,
literally the way
I
that
don't
you
know.
presented that information.
No, my parents never told me. Like they didn't like ever like hammer that into me. Like in Mean Girls, when
My
they're
mom
like,
told me last week.
if you get an STD or if you have sex, you will die.
Right.
Yeah, and so,
I think that's what my mom told me. Like I said, as far as Donna's concerned, I've never had the sex talk. I don't know how it works.
Well,
Right.
my parents just told me that God would be really disappointed.
Well,
really, that's the worst one.
Yeah.
That's the worst one.
yeah. God and Santa. Yeah, that was the second.
And Santa
Yeah.
not being real. That was the next one.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Catholic?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's more Catholics where I grew up in the Midwest than there are here, but maybe it's just
a lot of Catholics in the Midwest. Yeah.
oh yeah, ton. Every girl I ever dated, Catholic.
I love that for you.
Thank you. And then I got to you. Not Catholic.
Not quite a Catholic.
Yeah, not quite. No. Can I talk about the future now?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh,
Go
great.
for it.
So, wait.
Wait, hang on.
God damn it!
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Did we? Because I want to make the distinction in my brain between player and fuckboy.
Oh yeah, we never got. To
We
that.
never got there. Yes. So
I mean, I
here's
just
a
think
TikTok clip.
Player is
Yeah.
just like
Here we go.
a piece of shit. You know, they're the person who like would lie to you or manipulate or
oh, okay. So
Who
player's
might-
worse.
yeah.
I was
That's how
thinking. I was
see it.
thinking fuckboy was worse.
No.
Huh.
Well, because like fuckboys is more like I don't know, like I just want to have casual sex, and people have a right to have casual sex.
Totally.
You know, they just need to communicate and set up for expectations and just say, I just want to be very clear.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is what I want. This is what I don't want, and we don't do. And
That's very communicative fuckboy.
yeah,
Yeah, the communicative fuckboy.
players are more. You know, they're actively trying to like add notches to their belt. They're like
Right.
they're deceitful with their feelings.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, lie to get what they want.
They might make you feel like they like you.
I feel like if you just went to Spotify and typed in player versus fuckboy, the theme of those songs would be very different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think I actually had that reversed in my head, but this makes a lot more sense. I think also too.
And I might be like aging myself. I don't know, but like, yeah, I feel like we need to bring back the word player because fuckboy has gotten too watered down. Of course, a lot of our terms have gotten too watered down. Ghosting, gaslighting, love
Yeah.
bombing, all
Literally.
those things.
Yeah. Gaslighting is one of those words that just took off like crazy.
Don't even give me started.
So I think the last time I was single, when I was never having sex, I think someone used that term on me one time, and I was like, I actually am overtly communicative to you, and you just didn't listen to any of it.
Yeah.
She didn't like that answer. That was not a
I'm
good
sure
answer.
that went over really
She
well.
probably thought
No.
you were gaslighting.
She didn't refer to me and go, "Oh, I'm enlightened. Thank you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when someone tries to be communicative in that situation of having casual sex, if you don't agree with it, you're just like, well, no, I don't want to accept that communication. Whatever you just said, I rebuke it. I don't want it.
What do you mean?
Rebuke it.
I don't want it.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like if you're saying to a girl like, this is just casual, like I'm not committing to anything, but like
No, but that's the problem. People aren't saying it before they have sex. They're saying it after they have sex.
Oh, I thought you were saying it before.
Well, the way even you said it,
Well, I was thinking before and after, really.
Before and after on
Yeah.
both sides.
Yeah.
you know,
Oh.
it's kind of a dick move. I mean, it's certainly better than nothing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
And again, people aren't doing that. Like,
At all.
you know, they're not saying timeout. So like, you know, I know it's awkward and weird to
I
like
mean-
to say timeout and do that, but like, yeah, people like should start making their expectations clear of what they want. Unless it's, you know, if you have expectations more than just having sex, you know, like if you want to go and have sex, man or woman, God bless you. Go have sex. I'm not here to tell you what to do or judge you. It's a free country.
But tell
Go
the
enjoy
person
it.
beforehand.
Or yourself. Don't have sex with someone that you're interested in having a relationship or building a connection with. If you want more than sex and you have sex with them before you've built this connection,
Okay.
then you will be judged for the sex because they don't know anything else about you.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I think that sex on the first date, I mean, I guess though it would be going in with like less expectations though, right? So if two people are like, let's grab dinner and it ends up being a great time, whatever, you go home, you have sex, and both people come out on both sides being like, I'd like to do that again.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
But because the sex was great.
I think it'd be a combination, but I also think that sex is
No.
like as a male with the male brain.
To be fair, yeah, I can't remember a time when the sex was terrible and we were both super excited about talking to each other the next day.
But I also think that like if you wanted to have a relationship, whether it was on the third date or the first date, if you weren't sexually compatible, there wouldn't be a third date whether it was a foundation or not.
Well, it's a spectrum too, like in terms of what do you mean by sexually compatible? Because the first time you have sex with someone is often not the best time, right? You don't know them very well. It could be awkward.
We stopped for a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I do mean that literally. It was
Literally.
delivered and I said, that's here. We'll pick this
yeah,
up
well,
in a
let's
bit.
come back. We didn't go back to it.
We didn't go back. Well, here we are. So
Yeah.
we did go back. But
So it all worked out. But
Yeah.
like clearly you guys really liked each other. But there's a lot more people who might have sex without someone they really know. And, you know, yes, guys can be a little bit more focused on the sex afterwards. And if they don't know much about them and the sex was, you know, good.
They're going to chase the sex.
It's not that they chase the sex. It's just that they don't know anything else about you. So all they're really evaluating is their sexual experience with you.
I think that from a girl's perspective, it would be that they're blinding out everything else but the sex. Because they could have learned a lot on that first encounter outside of the sex, but it's the most powerful memory of that thing.
Well, see, guys aren't always that complex, you know?
Well, it's not really that though, but even if you had one date and you had a great conversation, you're still, how much can you learn about someone in a night? I know it feels like you learned a lot. I know it feels like you know them, but you really don't. So you have a nice conversation, you hook up with someone, and it's pretty good. I just in general, if you want to, I just think if you, people, men and women, if you want to have sex early on, just do it because you want to have sex.
And not because you want the relationship.
You can still want a relationship. You know, my girlfriend and I were together. We hooked up very early, right? But I think that was a risk for us, right?
I totally agree with that.
You know,
it's more
in the
of a
sense
risk.
that,
yeah.
and we very much had a strong physical connection, which that physical connection that we had for each other was strong enough that we kept hanging out long enough for us to build an emotional connection. And some people, they might not have that strong physical connection or sexual chemistry early on, could still make amazing partners and build a strong connection, but they might not get to that point because they hooked up too soon, you know? And I guess I'm not really I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm just trying to avoid people being disappointed.
Totally.
Because what they're doing is they're having sex early on and putting a lot of emphasis into that, and sometimes having sex because they think they're solidifying some sort of bond.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
You know,
Yeah.
with someone they don't really know, and it doesn't go the way they hoped. And sex the first time, again, that it's often awkward and not amazing. And that's easy to build on, but some people quit on that connection too fast because the sex was a little awkward, and then they get disappointed because, you know, people are, again, having sex totally fast, but not having conversations about, you know, what they want or what their expectations are. And we're just setting ourselves up for disappointment.
You've won me over. You've won me over. I agree. It's a good perspective. It's a good perspective.
It's just being honest with yourself about what you're trying to get out of this.
I think there's also too a lot of, and I see this only from like a girl's perspective who has a lot of girlfriends who have been through, you know, similar issues where there's like an expectations are not quite matched. Is that, again, there's tons of disappointment because the expectations, like, they don't quite know what the other person's looking for. And so they're just kind of guessing and taking risks and playing like little mind games to like kind of measure what the other person is feeling.
Why are they guessing?
Because they're not communicating.
Sure.
They're not communicating. And I think it was completely lost my point.
Okay.
I was about to say something
Well said.
so deep and so insightful.
Well, you know, interrupt us and we'll get back to it and we'll pretend like it never happened.
I'm going to come back and be like, I remember.
Are your friends... Would you say the friends you're thinking about in your head?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Are they friends that tend to avoid disappointment?
I would say one in particular is someone who puts a guard up really quickly
You
to
throw some
avoid
names out there?
disappointment.
See how it goes?
No, that's okay.
I don't mean a guard, but like, do they avoid asking questions that they're afraid of the answer with the people they're dating?
No, I don't think so. I
good.
would say, yeah, most of them are pretty, are
Maybe 5 years ago. Yeah.
yeah, I think 5 years ago. I think at the age we are now and like having been through, you know, a handful of different relationships and coming out of them, you know, a little smarter each time and learning a little bit from each.
Racking up those X's.
Yeah, racking up those exes that we are not judging you on. I think most of the friends that I'm thinking of right now are pretty good at being openly curious and communicative, even if it might set them up for an answer that they're not super stoked about.
That's amazing.
Which is good. And I feel like as a friend group too, we all support.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win, right? I feel like we're all really good at like snapping someone in the friend group out of like a self-destructive
Yeah,
path
that's
of,
after being in LA for 8 years. Like when you've been here for 1 or 2 years, that's not necessarily the case.
Oh, I mean totally.
Yeah.
I mean totally.
What was your friend group like when you first moved out to LA?
I had one friend.
Right. Well,
and then it grew from that.
Yeah.
I had one friend and a bunch of acquaintances a lot that I met
Yeah.
through him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
How was dating in LA when you first got here?
it was. I mean, it was fine.
Wait, so when did you move to LA within the 3 years of doing the Bachelor stuff?
After like a year and a half.
Okay, a year and a half. Is it weird to have strangers know things about you on such an intimate level after so many Bachelor episodes?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like,
What do you mean you can't imagine? You've been doing this for 10 years.
no, I know, but like, again, like I
How
feel
could you
like
not imagine?
it's so different because like I had a little more control over
Oh,
the
the
narrative.
narrative, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's such like a foreign world to me where I don't exactly like know what that feels like, and so I can't imagine having the network kind of have the final say in all
Yeah,
that.
but it was more, it had less to do with that and more to do with whether they, whether someone sees you on YouTube or on The Bachelor. It's just weird to have someone think they know you from
Yes.
that platform
Yes.
because whatever you've put on YouTube, I'm assuming isn't all of you, like,
Oh my! It's impossible to put all of you on
right?
the internet. It's
It's
impossible.
like, and even if it is, you have to, you're performing on some level, right? And so like in a relationship or on a date, we just want to just, relax, so yeah, it can be weird when people make any type of assumption about you on a date. And in general, like regardless if you've been on TV or YouTube, like it's tough to go on a date and just have people assume things about you.
Right, to have a preconceived notion before they've even actually like had a real conversation with you. in
You're
person.
on guard.
Yeah.
And we do that a lot. And forget, people who don't go on TV or whatever, we just, we sometimes will, when we go on dates with people, we'll make our dates feel on guard.
Midwest Gossip Circle.
That sounds
Yeah.
super fun. I mean, I feel like even now, like not everyone, but like so many, majority of people have social media, and so you can even still build like a small little profile on someone.
Sure, it's
before
all
you meet them.
relative.
Yeah, totally. So like even like outside of YouTube and Bachelor, like if you got TikTok,
Do you remember some of the old apps there used to be? Like, what was it?
do you remember Hot or Not?
Hot or Not?
That was one of the most toxic ones.
Lul. There was another one. I had some great ratings on there.
I had a pretty good rating on Hot or Not.
By great, I mean fucking terrible. Yeah, we had some like savage things back in the day.
I've never been on Hot or Not.
Yes, you have.
Wasn't that the...
Yeah, you have.
I don't think I have.
Tilly's, find his profile on Hot or Not.
Oh my God, I would.
Go back and way back.
Do you make your own or someone make one
Oh,
for you?
you don't make your own.
No, you do make your own. You choose your picture, and it goes on, and people just literally
Yeah, she
hit
made her
Hot
own.
or Not.
Yeah, no. Usually it's made for you, and then
Who makes it for you?
people make them for sure.
So I'm sorry, you had fans out there making you Hot or Not profiles?
All I'm saying is I didn't make one. I like how you made one though.
Of course I made one. All my friends had one.
But that's like, okay, do you make your WikiFeet profile?
No, but I just found my Wikipedia page. I was doing a podcast the other day, and so the host had like Googled me and looked at my Wikipedia page.
Oh God.
And they at some point I had mentioned that before I started dating Jeremy, I had just gotten out of a long-term relationship and I'd never been single in LA. So I was like, I'm about to have my whole phase. Like, I want to go be a fuckboy is like essentially what my attitude was. And so at some point in an interview or on my channel, I said I was going to go have my hoe phase. And that exact phrase, that little soundbite is on my Wikipedia page under my profile, saying that like between my last relationship and dating Jeremy, Lauren had anticipated having a hoe phase. She is now in a relationship with Jeremy Michael Lewis, and they started dating. And I was like,
I am the hoe face.
what the fuck? I was like, who edited? I thought Wikipedia was like somewhat had to be legit. Not that
Nah.
it's not legit,
I mean,
because I
if
did
there's-
say that.
Yeah, you did say
Yeah,
it.
I did
You know.
say
They literally
It-
cited the sound bite.
It quite literally sounded
Yeah.
legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They
mean-
pulled a quote from you.
I was just like, wow, Wikipedia, damn, really calling me
Yeah.
out.
Internet's forever.
Internet is truly
okay.
forever.
Yeah, it's fine. Here we are.
Here we are. And then never had my whole face.
Can I ask me questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been waiting the entire hour.
Sorry.
You said two things that were very interesting to me. One, book, and two, acting coach. Sounds like there's some new developments you're working on, and that's what I want to listen to. Like, what's going on?
Well, I've been studying acting for like the past 4 years since I've been
wow.
in LA.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wrote a book. I do this like the podcast, but I do like a weekly Instagram called Questions with Nick.
Great name.
And it's that Ask Me Anything app on Instagram, and people started asking me a list of questions, and I started answering them, and it's like really quick responses, little snark. People enjoy it, and then essentially turned that into like a coffee table book. But
Cute. Love that.
it's an easy read, but it's an actual book to read. It's
Yeah.
like 100 pages, whatever, and it's got some of the ethnics in there, and it's just like a dating for dummies kind of.
Oh, I love that. I
vibe.
love that it's a coffee table book. I feel like that's something that's like not only entertaining to like read and enjoyable, but it's also like a piece of decor.
Like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's this book. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's a
even if
light
people,
read.
like-
the idea is like, I'm hoping that if, if you have a friend or maybe yourself and you're struggling with you're just making some bad decisions, and you're getting your own way, that you'd give your friend.
You pick up
book,
next book. Yeah.
and you can say, I know this guy's, but I'm just fucking around on a TV show, and I know it sounds weird, but,
But-
I'm telling you,
and he's not an expert.
if you read it, it might help.
It's not gonna hurt.
A
It's
little
not gonna hurt.
tidbit of knowledge,
It's not
maybe. in
gonna
there.
hurt. So that's the goal.
And so, is this your first book?
Yeah. I mean, I don't consider myself, I'm not an expert. I'm not a writer. I actually wrote it, which I am proud of, but I do require a very talented team of editors.
Well, anyone that doesn't think that they need a team of editors probably is the
Yeah,
prime
needs an
candidate for
editor.
editor.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes.
couldn't tell you where commas go to save my life. Yeah. And the acting is a passion I do. I'm fortunate if I can do other things. So I do it. And it's fun. And I've gotten a handful of small roles.
Cool. That's so fun.
Is that part of the dream then?
Sure. Yeah. It's when I say sure, it's because it's like, I am fortunate enough to do other things, and maybe it won't really happen because I'm not. Well, if I don't book a series regular, or, like I'm not living in a car, desperate to do it,
Right.
and I won't
Right.
stop at anything.
Yeah.
But I do get coaching, I do take classes, I do invest in it, and it's fun, and I like it, and I'm playing the long game.
Yeah. I mean, that's fun. I think that's like low pressure, but still like keeping it enjoyable. So it's not like a high pressure thing that you're like chasing so hard.
Yeah, well, so that sometimes could be a good thing,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. The chase is right for sometimes.
Because I'm, with success in other aspects of my life, I've certainly, I'm sure I could be working harder in my acting career than I am now.
Right. But you're juggling lots. So like, I think that all like makes sense.
Yeah.
What are some of like the most outlandish and like outrageous questions that people have gotten into on Questions with Nick?
It's never that crazy. I mean,
Did you go to the all category and then the unread and the filtered
yeah,
ones and then really dig back down? Because those are the ones we get into where we go, oh, you should have asked this.
yeah, they're all kind of similar. It's a lot of like, what does this mean or
Yeah.
whatever. And there's a couple throuple ones. Those are always
Ooh.
fun.
Okay. That's exciting.
Someone was having sex with their cousin.
That's what we got so much of.
No. There was nothing. We didn't get any more feedback.
There was no blood. There was no.
It was Step, right?
It
And they
was
were like,
step.
it's my
There was
Step.
an adoption thrown in there, but they were cousins.
Yeah.
When we made a comment the next week about how many like cousin, stepbrother, whatever, we're like, yeah, that's weird. My DMs were filled with, it's not
It's
weird.
not weird. Yeah.
They're
We really
stepbrothers.
offended a lot of
And I was like,
cousin relationships.
I had no idea how many people are in an incestual relationship watching this podcast. And we thank you.
It's a shockingly too big of a demographic than I would like to admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, with the internet, if you judge anyone, you'll hear from them.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yes.
And then if you don't judge them, you'll also still hear from them.
Possible.
Yeah. I
That
noticed
is
you
also
didn't. I noticed you
possible.
didn't bring me up. Is everything okay?
Is everything
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about
Hey,
me?
you're not talking about the crisis here, and I'm like, what is the crisis there?
So
Yeah. I mean, so do you spend a lot of time on social media? Or are you like away from it?
I spend too much time,
Yeah.
and I often try to challenge myself to step away from
What's your like go-to?
to step away.
No, like you're bored.
My girlfriend telling me to get off the
Yeah.
phone.
No, you're bored. Like you got nothing to do. Like the elevator. What are you refreshing? Which
Yeah,
platform?
which app?
I'm a big sports fan, so
Okay.
I'm on Twitter getting all the Packer and NFL news
interesting.
I can possibly get.
Packers are a football team in Wisconsin.
Got it?
Green
Got
Bay.
it. Green Bay. I knew that. Oh my God, I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Sports.
I have my TikTok moments.
Okay.
I watch so much
I've gone down some
deep.
deep TikTok rabbit holes.
What's like your TikTok For You page? Like what are like your three main categories
No.
of For You page?
Wait, can I ask that question a different way?
Go ahead.
How would TikTok's algorithm describe
Yeah,
you?
there you go. There's the proper
Yeah,
way to ask that.
Yeah, it's all over the place. there's a lot of like podcast stuff and
Okay.
a lot of thought, like people preaching. and
Oh,
shit.
okay. So at least your TikTok sounds like a little like educational. It sounds a little more brain
I wouldn't-
stimulating.
What's the one category that TikTok thinks you're interested in that you wouldn't necessarily want to be
Show
which
to
ones
the
you're
world,
not
yeah.
exactly proud of?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's always some dancing.
Okay. Dancing.
Yeah, a little dancing.
I mean, TikTok can be diverse. I get a little bit of everything. The TikTok stars don't show up on my page.
Mine either, honestly. I rarely ever see like Charlie or Addison or some of the bigger names now. I rarely ever see. I got a lot of axolotls.
Do you know what an axolotl is? Because that's not a word that I would know if I wasn't with her.
It's this cute little.
They're not cute.
They're so cute. It's
Gross.
like this little like fish.
Slimy.
Fish little lizard thingy. It's really cute. But like that's what I'm saying. Like my For You page has just narrowed down like what my interests are to like dog videos, a little bit of podcast stuff, sometimes like YouTube drama.
If I were to have seen
Transitions. I get
Yeah.
some fun transitions.
Ooh. If I would have seen like your For You page before we started dating, I was like, would you be interested in this person? I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
I would say the same thing about
I
you.
know. I
Fucking
know.
nerd.
That's why you got to build up a little bit of a relationship. God.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just watching the show. Yeah, because then sometimes I will like look for things on TikTok, and it's not because I'm necessarily. I guess you could say I'm interested, but it's more of a fascination with something that I'm not fascinated. Like,
Like, you don't want to see it every day after you look for it.
yeah, like there's
Yeah.
this thing called. Have you familiar with Red Pill TikTok?
Go on.
Maybe go. Yeah, tell me what it is and maybe.
It's a incredibly toxic kind of group of men
okay.
who.
So many stories start that way.
Yeah, they have a very it's a lot of toxic masculinity. It's a lot of what seems to be angry men who feel wronged by women throughout life, and
okay.
there seems to be like any group leaders of this group
A hierarchy.
who also project some toxic things about the roles of men and women and stuff like
Any
that.
profiles you want to shout out or?
No. And I discovered it, and it's really toxic, and I really don't agree with much of anything they're saying. But someone who talks a lot about dating relationships, I want to understand what they're saying.
Like a different
And
perspective.
I'm not trying to get their perspective per se, but I at least want to be aware of what they're saying.
Yeah. Oh no.
You
I
know.
wasn't like let's agree with the perspective. I was like
Field research.
let's just absorb it so you understand. Like you for research.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so there's
Educational
I'm
purposes.
very interested. I like to challenge myself to hear what's going on in the world and listen to objectively what people are saying. Not because I think it's just important to try to have empathy for everyone, and empathy doesn't mean you agree with someone. It just understands where they might be coming from. So you can strongly disagree with them, vehemently disagree with them,
Great word.
and still at least have some empathy of why they got to the place that they're at and why they think and feel the way they do.
We talk about that a lot.
Well, that's
actually.
just sales 101.
Yeah. And you sold me on that idea a long time ago.
So I challenge myself to do that a lot.
Okay, so this sounds like a very productive use of TikTok, and I just want to say that I am also that productive on TikTok.
Okay. I don't know who you're lying to.
But no, I think it's so crazy because TikTok has so many like different niche corners of the platform that you can truly find so many different like educational but also like entertaining parts.
Yeah. And so is the girlfriend also interested in TikTok, or are you like on this journey alone?
No, she's on the TikTok.
And what do you think her TikTok says about her?
About her?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the internet defines her at all.
Well, it certainly doesn't. But what does it think it thinks? 'Cause-
Well, I mean, like her For You page?
yeah.
I have no idea. I
Yeah.
haven't looked.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
I
Because
love.
I can tell you right now, I would not enjoy Lauren's as much as she would
I
enjoy
wouldn't.
it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would
No, you
feel
wouldn't enjoy mine either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
Definitely
think there'd be there wouldn't be a good crossover. Like if we just share TikTok
There's a
profile,
reality show.
it would be fucked.
Yeah, there's a
It would be
reality show.
super
like
fun.
you can like
I think
scroll
the
through
internet
TikTok.
always assumes you're interested in whatever gender or sexual orientation you're interested in. The internet always tries to tempt you.
It's often.
You know what tempts really well for me and mostly succeeds is my Instagram ads. Oh my God. Some of that shit is so, I have bought so much stuff off Instagram ads.
Have you really? Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I break the cardboard down. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They target really well. They do actually, in fact, know what I want, what I like.
That's good to know. It's good to know because I'm asking them to swipe up. You know.
Trust me, I am the person swiping up on everyone's ads buying
Thank you.
things.
Thank you.
Okay.
My newest purchase, pre and probiotics that I found on.
It's good for your gut.
It's good for your gut.
Take care of your gut.
I'd be only more excited if I hadn't told her that 4 years ago, but it's all right. Here we are.
Swiped up.
I'm glad that you came to that realization. That's all.
Swiped up.
That's all. All right. So what else are you focused on? You got podcast 3 times a week, which has got to be time consuming. But
Yeah, I'm just actually just trying to launch more shows and grow the network. So
wait, talk more shows, more network. What's going on?
TBD. Yeah.
TBD.
Yeah, developing shows, but I'll be hopefully launching some shortly. So
That's
cool.
exciting.
It's like you're producing it, or just like underneath your network, or
yeah.
Both.
that's cool.
Yes, both.
Yeah. I'll be hosting some more shows, but also just producing some under the kind of umbrella of the Viall Files.
Oh, amazing. Viall Files.
Yeah.
Man, that name is so good.
There's only so much pop culture and dating relationship I have the bandwidth to do on my own.
Yeah.
But there's, a lot more to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you have a really deep understanding, like based on the conversations I've had with many straight males, I feel like both of you, your emotional intelligence and like understanding the social dynamics of like relationships, like you are light years ahead of so many other guys. So I think it's great that you're out there, even with a small male audience, enlightening.
Well, thanks. I mean, I do take pride in the fact that I have a handful of men. It might be a literal handful.
Us too.
But they're all sweet. They're
Oh,
all
I'm sure.
well-intentioned
Yeah.
men. So I do hope more tune in because the ones who do call in, they all seem like really good guys.
I'm sure they are. If they're
because they
like,
care,
Yeah, they
you know?
care. That's exactly what I was gonna say. They care.
I mean, my favorite are the girls who are like getting mad and like leave a comment. They're like, "My boyfriend watched this episode without me. I can't believe him."
I mean, the audacity.
No, I get it. Yeah,
The audacity.
I know, I get it. Podcast.
He's in the wrong.
I get it. It's terrible. It's terrible.
That's like Netflix cheating.
I get it. Yeah.
That's Netflix cheating.
Netflix cheating.
Yeah.
Well, so there's no timeline on that.
Yeah. I know what you meant, but
Netflix cheating, Netflix dating.
Netflix cheating is very real and it causes
I'm a Netflix
mayhem.
cheater, a serial Netflix cheater.
A Netflix
She's
cheater.
leaving tomorrow. I will be cheating 3 days straight. I'll
On
watch.
what show?
I don't
We
know
better
yet.
binge the rest of Gossip Girl tonight.
I don't know
Just so
yet.
that we don't have cheating.
I'll have no issue just flicking through it. No issues.
You know what though? The problem is that like you should lying. Don't condone it ever. Lying is not right.
I'm waiting
But
for I was like,
Yeah,
there's a
here
butt
it goes.
coming.
I would rather you just Netflix cheat in silent. And this is the only cheating that this is okay for. I want to be very
You
clear.
want to pretend to not have watched it?
Yes. Yes.
Just lie to you.
Because you
Softly.
only half watch every show anyway, so this would actually probably give you the full perspective of what happened in the show if you watched it a second time with me.
Well, I can't wait to cut that up later and use that as evidence.
Oh, good. Can't wait. I'm like, I am condoning cheating when you cut up the words.
I get it. All right, before I plug all things, did we hit the hot list?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I probably missed some of these, but you've answered, I feel like, so many. You know what podcast I actually loved that you did was with Matt King.
That's the one I
Hoot and
listened
a
to.
Half. That was, I mean, he is such
He's
an
great.
incredible interviewer. Yeah, and that podcast was so interesting to like listen to your conversations.
He's
So if I missed anything, Tilly's, if I missed any of the deep bachelor tea that you were hoping for, or anything else, highly recommend going to check out that podcast.
Yeah.
You were great on it.
And apparently more.
Thanks. He was on mine too.
Oh, I gotta go watch the flip side. Gotta go watch the swap. Then I gotta watch the
Yeah.
other half. Yeah, he's great. He's so funny. All right, Nick, you have anything to plug? Where can people find you?
You can just follow me on Instagram at Nick Viall and TikTok. The same. Yeah, that's all you can do.
All the links are going to be below then.
So you will find it there.
The Viall Files, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch it, we're on YouTube. And yeah.
And is there a tentative date for when we're going to expect more tea
Well,
from the
book
network?
is October
That one we got.
2022.
But more content in the meantime.
There'll be stuff in early next year.
Oh, that's
Okay.
exciting. That's soon.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally almost next year, and it's freaking me the fuck out.
Yeah.
First quarter of next year.
First quarter. Okay,
Yeah,
Q1.
yeah.
There we go.
Listen, early
Give
Q2.
yourself a little wiggle room there. Q1. Q1.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like the book that has to be shipped a year ahead of time. It's like,
Yeah,
it
sure.
could happen.
And the October for the book, I think.
That's so exciting. Can't wait to have it on our coffee table. It's going to
That's
be
gonna
great.
be good.
Yeah, I'll send you guys.
Yeah,
Please
it's gonna
do.
be great.
We'll come back and talk about
I was
it.
gonna say we're gonna come back and talk about it. I can't
If
wait.
you'll have me.
Yeah, well, also we get for pre-orders and everything.
Book tour.
We'll see. I don't know.
Book tour.
I have low expectations.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of my peers in Bachelor Nation who've been writing books, and I
right,
haven't read
yeah.
any of them, and I have no. It's just it's a saturated market.
It is, yeah. But I feel like when you have the built-in audience and you
Yeah.
establish that relationship and they trust you with your non-expert but expert opinions.
And that's the hope. And I'm just trying to be level-headed about it. I just recently read it.
And
I think it's decent. I think it's pretty good.
Like, I think my product actually slaps.
okay, but like, you're your toughest critic. So if you think it's
yes,
decent,
if you like it.
We'll see. But Bachelor Nation's been writing a lot of books lately.
Yeah, I've seen.
This book has nothing to do with my time on The Bachelor. It's certainly not a tell-all. I really don't talk about The Bachelor at all. I don't know if that's a good thing for people.
well, if they want to hear about The Bachelor, they'll go read the other 14 books.
But yeah, I hope people find it interesting and helpful. And I don't take it myself too. It's meant to be a very easy read. And if you might, it's just a lot of shit that I got wrong along the way.
And those are the best learning
And
lessons.
I try. My hope is that the people reading it will not make all the same mistakes I made.
That's helpful, or at least it should have been helpful.
And if they could just make one or two less mistakes, they'll be better off.
The good place. All right, well, Nick, thanks so much for coming on Wild Till 9. We'll have everything that you do and where to find you linked below.
Thank your tailor for making that suit.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, we didn't even give any context. Nick just came from the People's Choice Awards.
No, he did. He got dressed up to come to this show. No.
For
No,
69th
he didn't.
episode. For 69th episode. Just
Oh,
kidding.
Yeah.
I came for you guys.
Yeah, you wear a suit for your 69th episode. Absolutely.
I mean, we didn't even give any context at the beginning
Yeah,
of
well,
that.
fuck it.
I just don't you dress to impress?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, in my leggings.
Yeah, you should have seen this before. Well, thank you for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
I
guys.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Excited to watch all 3 episodes a week and also some more content in Q1.
Q1. All right, guys, we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, Tillies, we got a sassy sponsor today. Oh my God, I can't believe this is a good one.
Yeah,
this
it
is
is.
a good one.
Yeah, it is.
AdamandEve.com has everything you need for sissy time with your partner or with yourself. Seriously, just go browse the products and we are positive, sex positive, if you will, that you will find something to spice up your sex life.
And we've got a pretty great discount for our favorite listeners, which is, well, all of our listeners, of course. But all you have to do is go to adamandeve.com and select any one item, and you'll get 50% off and free shipping.
That's a good ass deal.
It sure is.
That's a good ass deal.
Uh-huh.
It could be an adventurous new toy or anything you desire. Just enter offer code WILDTIL9 at checkout and you'll get 50% off almost any item.
Should have been Wild After 9. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it right now.
Yeah, that was a
But
missed
that's
opportunity.
fine.
Wild.
That's fine.
Yeah. Maybe next time. Go check out adamandeve.com today. Select one item and get 50% off, including free shipping when you enter offer code WILDTIL9. That's WILDTIL and the number 9. WILDTIL9 at adamandeve.com.